call the meeting to order at 6:09, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call. Let's see. I'm here. David's here. Alden's here. Gary is here. Henry is here. Did I see Matt? I know, but I thought I saw him. Well, maybe it was Judy Barrett. Judy, is Matt on? Judy, I think you're muted. Anybody else here that's on the board? Okay. That's good. Roll call. Public input. Is there anybody that wants to say something in public input? Claudia, did you make it? All right, so we'll move past. Well, I'll just give everybody a little update. One of the Facebook group posts I made, because we have two things. We have a Facebook page for the community center, and we have a Facebook group. So the difference is a Facebook page is kind of where you brag about the community center, and it's not really a place where people interact. They really go there to get information. The group, though, is where people can chat about things. So as we get going and we're not making announcements, people may have discussions out there. Carrie's been really good. She's another one of the admins, and she's been offloading a lot of the question answering, which helps me out a lot. I don't have to answer everybody, and it's good to see a different face out there too, you know. So Carrie's doing a great job with that. But this woman called me. Her name is Claudia Richardson Gilbert, and she's got 20 years of IT experience. She's originally from Chicago, Illinois. She has lots of contacts. She's just like us, though. She's very, very excited about this project, and she wants to help. So we'll be seeing more of her. She's currently down in Florida, so everything will be done remote for a while, but her and her boyfriend have a place up here in Hooksett. So we'll be looking forward to Claudia. She'll be at our meetings. Sad news is, or I should, let me take a step back. You know, I agreed to come back, and there's a couple things I want to go over with the board that we're going to change if the board allows. One of them is we're going to change the bylaws a little bit. That'll be at our next meeting. I'll send some out for review, because in our bylaws we say we have to have a 10-day advance notice. But one of the bylaws, we basically said, well, if you miss 3 meetings, you're out. We've never enforced that. But I also want to change it to say 3 unexcused, you know, because people have meetings that conflict, they have family issues, and that's okay. But at least tell the board, hey, I'm not going to be at the meeting, you know, just keep me up to date. But just being totally absent, never answering emails, never keeping in touch with us, not acceptable anymore. So basically, Ross Santulis is given his resignation. Just too much going on in his life right now at work, his family. And I assured him that we're going to have plenty to do on this project. So he's going to be able to come in and help us out when we get some of these committees cranking. So, so that means we have another position on the board we want to fill. Claudia's not here, so I can talk about her. I think would make a very good board member. So I think we'll give it like a meeting so you guys can meet her. Talk about her experience and everything. I've already heard it, but I want you to hear it directly and then see if you have the same opinion as I do. But she's a go-getter.
So she's going to be living in Hooksett?
Yeah.
And so has she moved here at all yet?
Hey, John.
What?
Claudia just emailed.
Oh, what'd she say?
She doesn't have the proper Zoom link.
All right, send her the one. Forward her the one I just sent.
Okay.
All right, so that's good. We'll listen to her. So the job I have lined up for her, and she's all excited about it because she doesn't know anything about it. And I told her that's what we do. We don't know what we're doing, so we learn about it. And that's what this whole project is about. What she's going to do is she's going to take our current website, which has a lot of good data, but it's in an old format. We have our services through GoDaddy.com. That's our hosting service, our web design service, everything comes through them. When we start a store, start accepting donations on credit cards, it's all going to go in the back end of GoDaddy. They have something called WordPress. So when you see the new websites, they're done on a WordPress background or platform. It's going to be fantastic. Our website is going to kick ass. So that's going to be Claudia's first task to take on. I told her it's no rush. It takes months, a year. I don't care. You know, I want her to learn a lot and do the project. So let's wait for her to join in so we can kind of keep on the right schedule here. What else? Ross Santulis. Oh, so we have to make a motion. So if you want to do that, somebody make a motion to accept Ross Santulis' resignation.
I'll make a motion.
And second?
I'll second.
Okay, so David made the motion. Who made the second?
Matt.
Matt. Okay, that's to accept the resignation of Ross Santulis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, accepted.
That's Matt Barrett that's on there tonight?
Yeah.
Okay,
Put
good.
it on.
Just got back from Las Vegas.
Okay, is Claremont on? No, okay. Claudia, you on yet? Okay, we'll wait. Or so I'll do Claremont's update for the letterhead. So I think the last time we met, I told you about Brock's Industries, and they just said, hey, send us some letterhead with a request for a donation. We'll make a donation. So Claremont's son is into graphics arts. So he's actually going to make us some letterhead. So that's in the works right now. But the more I thought of it too, is like, I don't really just want to ask for money. I want them to hear what we're doing. So I'm going to give them the PowerPoint, and if they want, I'll go down, or we can go down and give them a run through of what we're doing for the project. Then we can ask them for some money, maybe not even right away until we have some needs, you know? I think it's better than just sending a letterhead and saying, can we have some money? So anyway, Claremont's son is working on that for us. Claudia, you on yet?
No,
All right.
I don't think so. She
Okay.
said she was have some issues with her email, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. How else could we get her on? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, she's having problems with her email. That's the way that does it. Is there a phone number you can call in on that invitation? Let me do something here real quick. Yeah, here we are. This is live TV, folks.
No.
Okay. Copy invitation. Okay. Okay, Matt,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you the invitation, and
I'll forward it.
yeah. But how did you guys know if her email's not working? How does she communicate with you?
I got this via email, but she said she's been having trouble with it. So I don't know if it's sporadic or what the deal is.
All right, we'll forward that along, and she can always call in if she can. Maybe she's having trouble with the computer.
All right.
Just forward that, and she can call in. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, while we wait for her, let's turn to our treasurer, the famous or infamous Henry Roy, take it away, Henry.
Well, I have bad news for you, John. I have never heard from Oliver. So I don't know where the bank statements are going. I'm not a signatory. So I'm at a loss.
Okay.
David, are you getting the bank statements?
We'll straighten that out. Have you tried calling him?
No. I think, David, you get the bank statements.
Oh,
They go to Oliver's house.
both of them were going to Oliver's house.
Or didn't we change it?
We
were going to change it to go to Matt's. Remember, we were going to send everything to the same address. All right, so that's fine. Between this meeting and our next, I will get together with you, Oliver, right, David, because where we were just starting to get all the addresses and everything to go to Matt Barrett's address, because
got rid of
we had some money come in through Facebook that wouldn't give it to us because there were inconsistencies with the addressing. So I'll work with you, Henry, on that, and we'll get Oliver together. The three of us, the four of us will have a meeting, and we'll get everything caught up, and we'll straighten it out before the next meeting, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Well, Henry, when I got rid of the post office box, what did you use for an address after that? For IRS?
I'll have to look it up. I think I'll have a folder here. Maybe I can find it on the application.
Yeah,
we'll probably John's address, but
we'll have a meeting, just there's a little committee meeting, and we'll get all that straightened out. We'll get on the right road by the next meeting.
Okay.
Not a big deal. All right, Vice President update on land, Mr. David.
So we are meeting with our attorneys. It sounds like within the next week, they gave us quite a few openings that they want us to get together with them on. And we're looking forward to getting some letters of intent going for the sewer department and for the school department. And we're all pretty excited about getting us these letters so we can move forward with letting the town know what we're really doing here, where this community center is going to be. We're not going to talk about it. So we also, the crew team.
Now, I think one thing we can mention is we, as a nonprofit, we are going to reach out to all the nonprofits in this area that help kids. So, for example, we got us, we've got the Lions Club, we've got Kiwanis, Southern New Hampshire University. They're also a nonprofit. So if we can work with the college kids and stuff, we'd love to do that. We've met like Brenda and Nick. They're from a rowing club, and they help kids. So we want to promote surrounding nonprofits that are helping kids. So, we've, I think I was talking to Brenda on a walkthrough of the land. Somebody in Auburn does horseback riding for vets and disabled people. So it's a community, and we're also reaching out to the surrounding communities, right? This is not going to be just for Hooksett people, because we're going to charge people that want to come in and, let's say, go to the splash pad. That's how some of the revenue is going to come into this building. So you don't just want to limit it to the Hooksett people. We want to have relationships with our surrounding communities. So there's not as much of that community to community fighting going on. Everybody should be getting along. I mean, we're all Americans. So, so more to come on that, but that's the point I think we were trying to make there, is we're going to work with all kinds of different nonprofits, including the rowing club and stuff like that. So you can tell your friends about that. Anything else on the land, David?
I think that's it.
Okay. One thing about this, I sent something out to the board that I've ordered all of you these little cards. Why that's important is we can get some land, but if we don't tell our story to all the people in Hooksett, well, that's going to come up for a vote, and it'll get voted down because people don't know about it. They won't vote yes on something they don't understand. So our job is to get the word out hand by hand, mouth by mouth. And those cards really work. I've gone through almost 250 of them within the last year, because everybody you talk to that doesn't know about it, as soon as they get done talking, just hand them a card. And that has all the information they need to go to our website, and then they can forward that along to their friends. If you know somebody like that works a restaurant is willing to give out cards, give them a stack of your cards and let them hand them out. Local businesses is ideal. If there's a message board that you can put your card up on, do it. Because you already have your own contacts, so they trust you. So use that contact, use that trust to spread the word. Because if we don't spread the word and we don't advertise, we're dead in the water and we'll have to wait a whole nother year. So that's a March election that we're shooting for. It seems like it's a long time away, but we're all going to vacation in the summer, and fall's going to come. Before you know it, we got to get those articles written to get on the ballot, and that's got to be done by about November to get on there for March. So the school board doesn't meet very often. They meet once a month now. So, we got to get that work done and get it in the queue. Claudia, you on? No. Okay. We'll keep checking on Claudia. All right. I have on there item 9, discontinuation of digital recording of meetings. So we're still going to record the meetings because it basically comes free with Zoom. But in the background, it's a royal pain in the neck. Unless somebody else wants to take it on, I just am done with it. You basically have to take that, convert it to MP4, put it up on YouTube, then edit the website to hook to the YouTube link. It's a pain. And you know what I found is that of the meetings I put up there, there's not many hits on it. So it's like, it sounds conceptually great. We do want to be transparent. That's why we open our meetings. We have public input. But I think we're going to focus more on meeting minutes anyway. Because for a record of meetings, a video really isn't a good, because you have to pile through it to find the data. If somebody asks, well, when did you nominate that guy to come on the board? And we're like, I don't know. I think it was the June 5th meeting. No, we just got to use our meeting minutes, but we'll always have the meetings open to the public. We'll always have public input. So unless somebody else wants to take that on, we're not going to be doing that anymore.
Hey, John.
Yes.
I think it works to record the Zoom as long as we continue to have Zoom as an option. So we would have to be mindful of that once we go back to completely in person. 100%
correct. Yep. And, I really believe it is good to have the Zoom option going forward, because it's a lot of people can't make a meeting. Like let's say we get back to the library and we're there. Some people just can't make it because of their schedules. So I think it's always going to be good to have the Zoom. One of the things we'll talk about a little later is I extended our Zoom meeting so it's unlimited now. So we don't have to worry about squeezing it into a half-an-hour block. If we happen to run over, which I promise you, I'm always going to try to keep our meetings efficient. So part of that is your job is to not like BS during the meetings. After the meetings, we can BS all we want, but we want to get through the agenda, get our business done, let the public talk, and then be done with the meeting. These meetings shouldn't go that long. But to your point, Carrie, I think it's good that we continue with Zoom because we have it extended and there's no reason why we shouldn't do it. So people can, and ideally what we'd like to do is it'd be nice if in the future we could just stream it right out to our Facebook page or group. So people could just go right there and watch it. But that's future stuff. Okay. Lead architect from Eastman Recreational Building. So this guy, his name is John Lacombe. He's the president of a company called SMP Architecture. I haven't reached back out to John yet, but it was funny. He happened to go to our website, and the second building option that we have out there was just a pictures I took at the Eastman Lake community. No, it's not even a community center. It's like a boathouse almost. I guess you could call it a community center. It's small, but just to give us a different sense of more of a homey looking building, So this guy is the guy who is the lead on that project. And he says he's more than happy to come speak to us. So I think at a future meeting, I'm going to talk to him and see if he'd be willing to come and talk to us about what we should be looking for in a design, maybe to propose to the Hooksett citizens. It's called SMP Architecture.
Where are they located?
I don't know. Google it.
SM. It's on your
SMP. Yeah. So anyway, that's a good, that's a really nice thing that happened there. We're going to definitely follow up on that.
that name sounds familiar.
Registration paperwork. Okay. So this is registration paperwork is just, I think, where we left off when everything happened. So we'll do that, Henry, in the meeting, that we straighten out the bank stuff. We're going to get the addresses straight, all of our registered paperwork with the feds and with the state. We're going to straighten that all up before the next meeting. Make sure that it's accurate. All of the current board members are on there. And then we can move forward. We'll know that everything's straight.
Okay with me.
What's that?
It's okay.
Okay. I think I brought this up. I'm just not sure where the board was on it, but I feel real strongly about continuing our nonprofit, New Hampshire nonprofits registration. The reason is it's cheap money and there's a lot of contacts in there. There are people that want to help people like us. So I'll make a motion that we re-register so we don't let our registration lapse with the New Hampshire nonprofit, what do you call it? Not company, organization.
I'll second that. I know how valuable it is.
Well, Matt's a second on that. Any discussion?
What is the cost, John?
The cost right now, until we get our feet on solid ground, is negotiable. I think last time
It was free.
no,
Or half
we
price.
paid like $50. Then I think we paid $90. But I'll negotiate again, and I'll have a number for you though, Henry. Okay. That will do by email. So if I can get a vote right now to re-register, I will first make sure I get the board's approval with the amount of money to cost out the registration. Once I have that approval, then we'll go ahead and re-register.
I think I'd make a motion that we're giving you authorization to go up to what, maybe $130.
That should be enough.
So, or less.
Yeah,
And so we don't have to go back and forth and waste
I
time.
like that. I like that. All right, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, I'll get that done this week. All right, let's just move this up. Claudia, are you on yet? No. Okay, so David already mentioned item 14, scheduling a meeting with the attorneys, John Bisson and Laura Carlier. And just so everybody remembers, Matt was our connection there. Our attorney that was doing pro bono for us before had to leave due to work and other commitments. And within what, Matt, a week or two?
Yeah.
You got Laura signed up, which was awesome. So Laura and John Bisson now are our pro bono attorneys. So they're helping out, like David said, with all the letters of intent.
So they gave us some dates. Is everybody show up at that meeting, this meeting, or what?
Well, everybody can. We should check with them first, because I don't know who they sent the invite out to.
I got one.
I got one. Probably Matt did. Probably just the three of us.
Okay.
So we'll ask the board. Does the board feel comfortable with myself, David, and Matt representing our interests with the lawyers as far as these letters of intent? Or would you all like to attend a luncheon with the attorneys?
Do you think maybe Alden should come?
It'll be at lunchtime, Dave.
Not a big appetite.
Yeah. Anybody else have interest? Okay, so we'll see if Alden's available. Otherwise, it'll be me, David, and Matt that'll represent us. Okay, so I cycled around to everybody the latest draft of our PowerPoint presentation. And what I did is I just took the original one and brought it up to date, changed, you know, if we had new board members and stuff. But then I added a whole section for SNU. And what this is this is the presentation I want to do to try to see if SNU would entertain being our partner. They would basically be the manager of this whole complex, which is, I believe, as important, if not more important than the land itself. We're in a chicken and an egg scenario. You know, it's hard to get a partner without the land. It's hard to get the land without a partner. You know, you got to have the whole story. So I think going at it in parallel is a good idea. Because we're going to sell the Hooksett community that we're engaging with partners, whether it's SNU, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA. Those are the type of groups we need to go after to make this whole project a success, because we don't want to do it with volunteers. I don't want to manage this thing. I don't think any of you do either. That's a big undertaking. So anyway, I'd like to get this going as soon as possible, because as you guys know, I have some good months out of this year where I'm firing on all cylinders, and this is the time.
And some.
And some, yeah. Come October, I'm not going to really want to go over to SNU and do any kind of song and dance. So I think the sooner we can get this lined up, the better. I've already reached out to Libby May, who David and I have a relationship with already. She is, I think she's like a vice president of community relations.
Well, I don't know. It says senior VP of external affairs.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know I wrote it in there. And then this other guy she invited was Stephen Teal. He's assistant vice president of community relations. So what we're going to do is like a dry run, and everybody should come to that because I want everybody to represent the board. I don't want to just be a couple of us. I want everybody there. I may even ask you to say something, so be prepared to talk about why you're involved in this project and what good you think it might do for the community center. I want everybody to be part of it because I want them to see this community is involved, and we're really on fire to get this thing done, and we need a partner.
So, Carrie, you actually work at SNU?
I do.
You do. So we heard that Ed Ithier is working there now too. You know who Ed Ithier is?
I do.
Okay. And Andre Guerin graduated from there, I guess, also. So with all these connections, do we have, do they get involved with some of this somehow, or do we just leave it up to the people that we're going to originally get together with?
I'll comment on that. I think the thing we have to be careful about is if we start a relationship like we've already done, and this seems like where we would want to be, which is community relations. I mean, this is their wheelhouse. So if all of a sudden we start reaching around their backs and going to different people, they may get offended by that because they're humans. And they're like, well, why did you do that? Why did you go over here? And why did you go over there? We were already working on this. And then we get infighting. That's just my opinion. Okay. I worry about that. I would rather keep our focus on that one channel and let them point us to the right people. That's me. Anybody else think something different maybe?
I don't disagree, John. I think that there's a heavy presence of SNU employees living in Hooksett. And so I think like if we kind of approach them via the same channels that we have up to now, I think that would make sense, and that we go through the one, you know, through Libby, through our primary contact there. I think that would probably make the most sense.
But I would also add that we sort of need some sort of commitment, you know, earlier than later, so that we don't spin our wheels.
Correct. Correct. Yep. I think we're all on the same page. So to your point, Carrie, those people that we already know work or are involved deeply or alumni of SNU, those are the ones we want to be shaking hands and handing cards to. And getting the buzz going within the faculty. Like, I'll talk to Ed or anybody I know that knows Ed really well.
It's a neighbor.
Yeah, so you probably be a good guy to talk to him. Those are the people we want to hand the cards to and get the buzz going and point them to the website. Ask them to join our group on Facebook if they have a Facebook account. You know, that group, I predict, is going to be comparable to the Hooksett Community Group, which has thousands of people in it. I think once this takes off, it's going to be a big group. And then any announcement we have for the community center can just be posted there. And then if somebody wants to share it to the Hooksett Community Group or anywhere else, they can do that. But I think that's going to be big. And the more SNU people we get on there, the better. They'll help us promote it. Does that sound right? I think so. Okay. Community center direction. Yeah, so we just talked about that.
Land and partnership.
Land and partnership at the same time. We can definitely do it.
Okay, but now what about the partnership that are we going to get the crew team try to become partners with them?
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, we're going to try to be partners with all of the nonprofits in the area. Is that what you're asking?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna, like we said earlier, we're gonna get relationships built with all the nonprofits that want to have relationships with us. So yeah, definitely, to answer your question, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so walking tours. Alden, why don't you tell us about the recent walking tour, and then anything we learned on there? Did we find any artifacts or anything?
Yes, we had a recent walking tour of some of the adjacent properties. Conservation. A few of them took a look at the just really need to check and get things in final form as far as the plans.
Yep.
And then the thing I was just researching, John, I think it'd be great to try to get that building plan. Architect. I'm interested in this guy. Just use it. It looks like a SMP. But it doesn't. I don't know if he was working for someone else at the time. It looked like the Wall Street architects actually did.
Hi, John.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time hearing Alden.
Okay, speak up, Alden.
Yeah, thanks. I don't speak as loud as John. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I was just saying that the land stuff needs a little bit more work, but wouldn't hurt us to try to get going with the building concepts at the same time. And I want to take and follow up with the architect that John mentioned.
So that's going to be another meeting then that we'll get set up between this meeting and the next. Anybody else on the board want to attend that meeting with this architect to pick his brain?
I would like to attend.
You would like to?
I would like
Carrie.
Tell you what, I'll just put an invite out to the whole board and then just respond to me if you want to be there, and we'll work a meeting out with this guy. And because I think sooner rather than later is the best thing to do, to Alden's point. Okay, so that I'll do an invite coming up before the next meeting. Anything else you want to add there, Alden? Is there going to be another, because Carrie missed the last one, are we going to do one of the community center lot? Would that be possible? Because I haven't even walked that yet.
We can. I guess the issue was until we really have
letters of intent.
Yeah.
We wanted to get the letters of intent done first.
But why not just
we can do some sidewalks there.
That's all I'm talking about.
But, you know, now this is the time of the season where it's, you know, there's a lot of brush out there.
Oh, really?
A lot of brush. The ticks are bad.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not a good time
Yeah,
to walk.
well, yeah, nobody. In fact, at some point here, I'd want to get the mower out here.
Yeah,
but we want to only brush hog.
Right.
Right.
Okay, why don't we?
We're not going to have happy campers. I was out in the woods yesterday.
Yeah.
And pulling 20 to 30 ticks off.
A lot of ticks. All right. Well, why don't we wait till the fall when the ticks are gone?
Yeah.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, no.
And we'll do, like you say, we'll have the letters of intent by then, and
Well,
we'll
we're
be
not
marketing.
we're not going to be able to mow that until we actually.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that in the fall then. Walking tours, land negotiation summary. I think you kind of.
Yeah.
We already did. We're just working with the attorneys.
We're working with the attorneys and getting 2 letters of intent, and then we can signed by them.
Yeah, I mean, we're really blessed. I mean, if everybody takes a step back and thinks about where we've come in this short amount of time, the hurdles we've hit and overcome, it's just amazing. So we want to keep that momentum going as fast as we can, because if we delay, I'm worried we're going to get like in some kind of a drought, you know, because I don't want to be superstitious either, but things are going so well. We want to just keep going positive. Everybody I talk to, town councilors, everybody's excited about this project. So let's keep that momentum going. Boots on the ground at SNU, Carrie. I have no idea what that means. I think it was what we were just discussing, though. It was about your point that we have a lot of different contacts at SNU. Do you want to expand on that, Carrie?
Well, I mean, I think if we stick to what we kind of said with going through Libby and her team, is probably going to be our best bet. But I think socially, I think I know of a lot of people. I had mentioned the Hooksett Rotary Club. One of the members there, who's also a staff member at SNU, had reached out pledging their support. So I think just utilizing the existing contacts we have, of course, those that reside in Hooksett, and kind of have that like grassroots level of interest sparking because I have just in my direct neighborhood, well, I'm not too far from you, John, but in my direct neighborhood, I have at least five staff members within walking distance from me. I'm sure there's plenty more that I just aren't aware of. So I think like garnering any interest from that angle, especially if we're looking to partner with SNU, is probably going to be the best bet, and just reaching out to those people individually.
Maybe I should have a SNU employee only pool party. And you have to be from SNU. No, seriously though, I'm glad you reminded me. You told me about the Hooksett Rotary Club. Mm-hmm. If you want to line up with your contact for us to come in and do a presentation, we will do that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Are you a member of the Hooksett Rotary Club?
I'm not a member. It's relatively new. They're just kind of gaining momentum. But I am good friends with one of their founding members. So he had seen when I had actually posted something in my personal Facebook about the community center and just the latest and greatest with the building plans. And he had just said, hey, like, let us know how we can be part of this. So I can definitely reach out to him to see what involvement they would like to have, but also, like to John's point, schedule a presentation so they can get a better feel for what it is that we're seeking to offer.
What I would like timing wise, I would love it if we did Libby presentation, and then Libby sets us up with the decision makers, do that presentation, then start doing the Rotary Club and stuff like that. Because then we'd be able to use the same presentation material. We wouldn't have to kind of hide the SNU part, right? We'd be able to talk to them and include SNU and give them an update of where we are with SNU. You know, I think that would be timing wise what we want to look at. So maybe somewhere in the fall timeframe is when we want to do that.
I think that makes sense because I know that we do. They have full board meetings. I believe it's May, and then one later in the year, sometime in the fall. Libby would know. So if we could align that that would be great.
Yeah.
Carrie, when do they do their budgets?
Well, it's all, they operate in the fiscal. So, I mean, the budget is about to roll out for 21, 22, right?
Okay, the end of June.
Yeah. So like now.
This project for them, if we can get a partner, this is a few years out. Yeah. So we wouldn't have to be worried about getting it into the latest budget. They would have to do some serious planning. This is the whole program. You know, they have to architect this program. How are they going to run it? How are they going to get internships? How's that all going to work? That's their job. It's not our job, you know?
Right.
So that's a lot of planning. That's, I think, years of planning, unless they really get excited about it and want to do that quicker than we think they could do it, you know? But so, okay, so start talking to your contact. Let them know that we want to do a presentation for them, and it would be sometime in the fall. Okay?
Will do.
Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, well, no, we have, like we've been reaching out. We've been reaching out to different nonprofits, and one of them, we have some folks here tonight, Brenda and Nick, and they're from rowing club. And I don't really want to know the details of your organization, but I do want to know this. Do you feel like your board is receptive to having a relationship with the Hooksett Community Center, Brenda or Nick?
Well, absolutely, John. I think we've been, everybody was very excited when you came and made a presentation to our board. I don't remember when it was. It was over a year ago. Yeah. You know, I don't think there's been any doubt that we have a lot in common, and it makes perfect sense for us to cooperate every way we can.
All right, perfect. I mean, we're looking forward to it. I mean, the synergy is so perfect. You guys, you're working with kids. We want to see programs that are benefiting kids. Kiwanis wants to see programs benefiting kids, but we're also going to be focused on the elderly and the middle age. You know, we want to get those ski trips going and maybe trips to Europe, bus tours. You know, the sky's the limit, and it's going to be awesome. It really will be awesome when we get it going. So the more partnerships we have, though, with folks like you, I think it's going to be better for your community and the surrounding communities and Hooksett all together. Everybody's going to want to wrap their arms around this project, you know. So good. I thank you for that vote of confidence.
And thank you for your help that you've been giving us already. Yeah,
no, we're happy to. Like I said, we don't know anything. If we have something that we can share, we're going to share it. If there's something that you need researched and we don't mind researching, we'll do it for you. You know, we don't care. It's that kind of a project that we're not experts at anything. And what do they call that about masters of none? What is that?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. That describes our board, I think. We're jack of all trades and masters of none, right? That's what makes it beautiful. All right, business card update. I already said that. I ordered the cards. I will send the receipts for the cards to the board, so our treasurer can see those and give me some money back, and maybe he'll give me half of my money back. I don't know. He's pretty tight. New Hampshire Center for Nonprofit update again. You've already given me 130, and in our bylaws anyway, I have the ability to spend. I think it's like $250 at a time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make sure that
you might want to rescind that because I like to spend stuff. No, I am pretty tight on the money too, guys, but I'll spend it where it's necessary. But review those bylaws, because at our next meeting, we're going to go deep dive into them. I will send out some of the obvious corrections we need to make. But if anybody knows of anything that the public sees and they want in there, this is the time to do it. Because what David and I talked, we want to have the attorney review them for us to make sure we're all set up on our bylaws. Okay. And then school district land vote marketing. I have Matt down there for that. Do you have any clue what I was talking about, Matt?
Maybe because nobody else wanted to do it.
The point there is, the marketing is the easy stuff is handing out the business cards. But what I guess I'm looking for, and what I'd love the board to charge you with, is actually what is going to be our plan from when we have our letters of intent to the vote on March 12th or whenever the hell it is. You know, and so I'm thinking of things like we give demonstrations, we set up signs, just like political signs. We want to pollute the town of Hooksett with signs. So everywhere you go, support the community center. Or we want to make up different signs, but all focused on the vote. Okay.
No cost to the taxpayer.
No cost to the taxpayer. Yeah, those big points. We got to get it and point them to our website. So I want you to be the focus, the focal point of that, Matt, because you're a really well-respected businessman in the town. So I think your name will pull a lot of weight, and that's where we can go to the different things like the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, Kiwanis, the Boys and Girls Club, or Boys and Girls Scouts, the churches. You know, we're gonna do like a flood campaign, but you're gonna be the lead guy for it, okay?
Well, I guess since you're talking so nicely about me, I can't refuse.
Yeah, I have a way when I don't want to do something.
Yeah, I know. It's a bunch of BS, but I'm falling for it.
No, I mean, I'm serious about everything I said. You're the guy. You're the best guy for that part, so.
Hey, I'll give it a shot. What the hell?
That's all I had for agenda items. And the other thing I do want to mention, though, before the next meeting, and ideally like at least a week before, if you'd like to speak to something on an agenda at a meeting, let me know and I'll put it on the agenda. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to get into discussions that aren't on our agenda, because it's not fair to the public if they look and they say, well, they're not talking about anything I want. Then all of a sudden we talk about something juicy. That's not the way you're supposed to do meetings. You're supposed to announce ahead of time what you're going to talk about, and then people can decide whether or not they want to tune in. But anything is open. So if you have something that is on your brain, like you have an idea that you'd like to promote and get the board's approval of, then let me know. We'll get it on the agenda, okay? All right. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah. Hey, John, just to highlight, I know you said the March 10th was the vote.
March 22nd.
It's a March something. Yeah.
22nd. Yeah. And but to get on the ballot.
That's got to be done around November timeframe, November, December.
I think.
The attorney for the school district will write up those.
Yeah. So we really, we're actually, so you know, obviously we need to really
get rolling.
Be rolling. Have the we don't have to have the architectural plans in final form, but we should at least have a good conceptual.
Well, you got to remember, we already have one conceptual already. Okay. If we had to, we could go with that just as a talking point. And then we could explain to the people, though, we haven't made the decision. This is just a concept, folks. And we have architects willing to do pro bono work for us. So I wouldn't worry as much about that. Like a picture of one or pictures of ones that we think look nice, that's all we really need. Because again, we're just selling it to the Hooksett citizens. We're not going to an architectural review. Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying, but you know, I think it would help just to try to narrow it down a little bit. That's all. And
yes, I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree. I'm just saying we have a lot to do to market this thing, and I don't want us to get in the weeds and spend a lot of time on something that isn't really going to provide a lot more value for us to sell it. I think if we can get Southern New Hampshire University interested, that right there is going to help us sell it.
Well, they might have their own architects. If they're going to want to get involved, they're going to have their own architects.
Yeah, they're going to want a certain look and feel.
That they're building.
Right.
You see so they must have the same architect from one building to the other. And I might just talk to, like, Hooksett, because Hooksett does a lot of their work. Maybe that's, I don't know how that they come up with those plans, but they've done a lot. All the new buildings are magnificent.
So I think that's like shooting for the moon. I agree with it. If we can get it, I'm all for it. But I don't want to make that it's the, you know, the project won't go forward unless we have that.
But we kind of need to have even our discussion with SNU. We got to have November.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's why Libby is right now working on a meeting time that we're going to meet with them. Right after that is when we want to do the next presentation. We don't want to wait. We want to get that stuff rolling.
And you know, the owner of Procon just passed away, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get together.
Because there was another woman that was our contact there. So all we have to do is resurrect that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what Dave is talking about is before the pandemic, I had a contact of somebody that worked for Procon, and I asked him, could you get us in to meet some of the decision makers so we can present what we're doing? So he went with that information, and they were all excited. And it wasn't just one person, it was the whole bunch of them. So the woman that I was starting to get the meeting set up with, she was excited. So that all, when COVID hit, that all just kind of fell flat. So that won't, you know, it's like a little fire ember that's getting ready to burn. We just have to fluff it up a little, and that fire is going to go again. So, but that I think is to Alden's point, we need to have some plans.
They could even do plans.
They could do plans.
They do all the hotels.
No, I know that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think for us right now, so we don't focus on too much, land and partner.
Yeah.
Land and partner are huge, and then marketing this to the voters. I think those three things, we're going to be busy.
Right.
And we got vacations and all this other stuff too. So, and we got Christmas and we got Thanksgiving. So those weeks are going to go flying by, you know? So we got a lot on our plate, but that's okay, because we like to work. It's going to be worth it to work like 6 months and bang it out. You guys have already been working years on this stuff, you know? It's going to be worth it. It'll be worth it. And once we get the vote of the people, that's going to be a big confidence booster for this project. You know, then they're going to be excited. Well, what's going on, guys? Do you have your architectural plans yet? You know, they'll be chomping at the bit to get that thing built.
Well, yeah, we're going to have something conceptual.
Yeah. But we have something, right? If tomorrow we had to do it, we have something, right? That those architects in Portsmouth made for us. May not be the end thing. It may take us 2 to 3 years
to figure it out
what exactly Hooksett wants. It's not us.
Once we have the land and have the land cleared, and maybe somebody might even want to do a little bit of moving some dirt around, then we can really decide what kind of a building.
Yeah, I mean, I envision this. I envision having little parties along the way. For example, once we get the land locked down, we're going to get a big banner or something, and we're going to post it right in front of all those trees. And we're just going to have a groundbreaking or ceremony, something like that, just to get the buzz going. And then, like David says, then we clear a few trees, make it look pretty. Now we have a land opening day, you know, and each time I think the crowds will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So our whole job here is to build up the community's support and excitement. You know, go to the town council, give them a presentation. Go to the Conservation Commission. We want to be good land partners, you know, all those kinds of things. But I think right now, this year, we have to stay laser focused so we don't spread ourselves too thin, you know, because there's only a few of us, right? But I think we work efficiently, which is really good. All right, anybody else got anything they want to talk about? All right, last thing is public input. Anybody got any public input? Don't be shy. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
David Scarpetti. Motions to adjourn. Anybody second it?
Second.
Gary.
Good job, Carrie.
Seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? If you oppose, you had to stay there and shut the lights off. All right, thank you everybody very much.
Thank you.
Like I said, if you have something you ever want to talk about, just let me know. I'll add it to the agenda.
Bye-bye.
That's what it's all about. See you later.
Bye.
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Oh, did I say that?